All right, this is my rock garden over here, and that's what this video is going to be about. This is going to be basically a before video because I am going to extend this garden. So I'm going to show those plants. I'm also going to talk about why some plants died. I had a plant that was right there. It survived all winter very easily, and then the spring it died. So I'm going to talk about that real quick. Basically, these plants, they need to be planted in very gritty a very gritty mix, like not even soil. Like soil is what they don't want. But so basically this container, I'm making other videos talking about my idea, my plan, and how you should plant these plants, but I planted all these containers the same way. I have compost and bark mulch potting mix up to there, and then up here I've got basically 6 inches of stone, and then I got some sand mixed in, some compost mixed in. You ever see some plants where they're just growing in the middle of a driveway, or you see something growing in cracks of concrete, and then plants almost seem happy and healthy there? The goal of this new rock garden is to basically create a couple crevices and then also just build up the stone, so then I have 5 to 6 inches maybe in some spots where these plants can grow directly into some stones, because I was balling on a budget, I guess I'll just say, and I basically put stone in here very thinly. So I built it up with this soil, and this is straight up soil. And some of these plants can survive in soil, but basically this plant right here was super healthy, but it just held way too much too much nutrients, but too much organic material and way too much moisture to be happy and healthy. So basically, I am building this up. I'm removing a bunch of rocks over there. I'm probably going to remove all those plants temporarily, and then I'm going to build it up. And over here, it's probably going to be really high. And then I'm probably digging up that plant, maybe digging up that plant, and hopefully I can manage to put some stuff all the way across, maybe go into the corner over there, and then potentially even coming up through here. So then I'm going to remove these bricks, and I might also use some of the bricks in the design. So basically, I'm going to talk about these plants here in a second, but I'm also going to show you some rocks and some ideas. Basically, I do have these pieces of concrete, and I basically hit this piece of concrete a couple times with a sledgehammer. And I'm going to flip these things up on their sides, have another piece of concrete side by side, and then I'm also going to use some different bricks and basically create crevices just like I have here. So I took this hammer right here, and I hit these bricks right here, which were basically, pentagons or whatnot, 5 sides or however many sides is on there. 6 sides actually, hexagon or whatever they are, I don't know, it don't matter. But basically that's literally just the crevice I want to create, but I'm going to create probably some wider crevices and different things. So you can create crevices with regular rocks, but then bricks allow them to be straight vertical, so then they drain amazingly. But basically, I'm making a video about this. I made a video, I took a bunch of clips and stuff, but basically I want to have stone after stone after stone. I'm going to use bricks just like I have there, basically going this way, going in angles and stuff. So I'm going to have plants in there. And then over here, basically I've just got a whole mix of things. So I'm going to have to maybe pull up some plants, which they should handle that very easily. But pretty much where the ajugas are, I'm not going to want to dig those up. But anyways, guys, this ajuga right here is called Cordial Canary. It's been very, very nice. And then over here you've got Rosy Robin. That one's a new one for this year. The flower buds seem like they're closed, so I'm hoping that they all open at the same time. But it's kind of been not very full as far as the blooms go. And these plants are definitely very happy and and stuff. But that's a giant hens and chick. Giant sempervivum or whatnot. That's a Sedum Cyboldi. That right there is a gold nugget. Actually, it's probably a gold mine. That one took a major hit. And then these sedums, look at the sedums. They're very, very tight, very big. Them things are gonna like grow out and double in size as they start to grow, and they're gonna take over these. So look at that. This one's called Blade of Steel. And then that one over here has some great colors, and I still have fences on these, but I love gray. gray coloration in these. So I basically planted 5 of these all in a row, so then it just gives that mass planting effect. And then you've got a wildfire sedum, which should get some good colors here very shortly. Another lime zinger sedum. And then you got Befreckle down here, which has done great, even lower on the mound on this, in this area, and then my other areas. And then you got Dark Cloud right here doing great against the light Gold Nugget. And then that one right there is Oddity. That one has like really gotten big. And I even had a customer say that they had one of those, which is surprising. And then Steel Appeal has proven to be one of the hardiest ones, because I have one of those that I am going to include in other videos. And then this one right here was taking a hit basically the spring, but then next thing you know, it just kept on growing, and then it came out of the funk or whatever, and you see it's the size of my hand now, but this thing should be the biggest giant out there, the biggest Sempervivum. This one's called Emerald Explosion. I can't wait to see that thing max size. And this morning I saw a snake right here curled up. Check out the 2 different variegated sports or whatnot on the sedum called Campsishatum or something like that. I don't even know. And then this one right here is silver something. I don't know. Not Silver Song. It's the Chick Charms. And then you've got more wildfire sedums or some sort of sedum. I don't even know. Don't even remember planting that one there. And then if you can remember, I did plant that one. I guess that might not even be a gold nugget, but I thought it was a gold nugget. That one's got weird coloration right now, so I don't even know what one that is. I don't remember. And then this sedum right here has to be covered, or else the deer will eat the crap out of it. But basically, like I said, over here you had a really nice clump of Sempervivums right there, and that is just straight soil. That means that I need to basically build this whole area up. I'm left with one little teeny tiny piece of that. Over here, that's soil. So the soil is perfect for the sedums. And, you know, so I might plant some sedums right here where I don't really want to change this too much. But I really don't have anything that would be too problematic moving. So, you know, I might just have to remove some of this soil and then replace it with stones. This plant over here, I had one of those basically in a pot, and it survived. And then this one being in the ground, it literally just got ripped up, and the roots were kind of exposed. And if it wasn't exposed, it probably would have done better. But so basically, you've got a Chick Charms Giant. That one's the Maroon Mountain. That one will be growing very, very quickly. The Lime Zinger, and then the Wildfire. So then you just got to mix the different things. But like I said, some different things had died, and them things are doing kind of rough. I'll have to watch back at the videos and see which ones those are, pretty much, because there's no tags for some reason. That one is patent leather shoes, I'm pretty darn sure. But so basically, yeah, that one right there, again, that one is Blade of Steel. It's also renamed and considered a Chick Charms as one of the, like, grape something, I don't even remember. But so I'm making this video to show the before, like I said. So I'm gonna extend this rock garden. I'm not really gonna create too many video clips probably, because that makes the whole process just quadruple as long, because I can just hurry up and put these stones together in no time. I'm gonna be digging up stuff, and if I'm recording, I'm gonna take a million different videos, and it's gonna take too long. But basically, do you like the colors? I know I do, basically. And I had, you know, a plant there. I had basically 3 hens and chicks there. I had a couple that were there. I had one over there that died, and then 2 clumps over there. The one was a really big clump. And then other than that, I think I might have had something there. And but yeah, some of these that survived, you know, I guess I might keep them there. But like that plant and that plant, they took a hit even though they were up high. I made multiple videos talking about, you know, how these plants died, or they were like, you know, they were very close to dying and stuff. And I took multiple clips. I'm not even going to include those in the video in this video, or I don't think I'm ever going to post them, but maybe I'll go back this, you know, when I got some free time. But like I said, I am excited to see where this rock garden takes me. This rock garden and all of these plants, literally, like the winter, they're not going to grow in the winter, but basically as far as growing time, these plants have only had like 3 months total to grow. I planted all these plants in August, maybe July, but I'm pretty sure August is when I started to plant some of these, and then I planted some more later. And so yeah, this is, I keep saying it, it's the before, and that tree right there is doing good. And it's going to continue to grow, and look at that, it's got cones, and I think that those are actual cones. That's a Max Gold spruce. I'm going to have to remove some of these dead plants off of this mound, and you know, I'm excited to see this mound go crazy because I got a bunch of annuals, some salvias and stuff, but I'm going to plant Russian sage probably in a drift back there, some salvias over here, and then this whole area right here is just going to be a rock garden. When my customers are shopping, you know, this area has been basically trashed, you know, but most people don't even go and walk over there because I still haven't put the shade up on this house. And you know, but I do have the lemon waves, the mint marvel, then this other one is Bjorn or Bjorn, I don't know. That one's sapphire tuffet. I'm probably gonna have to remove it. And then I got all these other plants, and I got some in bins, but you know, we're gonna see where these things take me, you know. So this is very early in my early stages of rock gardening. And you know, these stones, each bag is like $6 plus tax and stuff. So you know, there was probably 10 or 50 or probably 20 different bags of stone that I put into this garden. So I'm gonna have to scrape those back, put a bunch of boring, darker, ugly pea gravel, which is kind of more like this color. And then I've also got another type of stone right here, which is also even prettier and smaller and stuff. And I'm gonna use those. So hopefully someone's watching this and they enjoyed it. You know, I learned that these plants, I thought that putting them up on the mounds, putting a few inches of stone was going to be enough. I knew that they needed very well draining soil. And I think that through freezing and thawing and then settling and then also some worms and then just decomposing and stuff, like, you know, there was compost and a good amount of sand, but that sand just kind of turned into, you know, soil. And so you need a lot more stones, a heck of a lot thicker of a layer, at least here in Ohio, than what I thought. So I'm gonna turn a couple of bricks into something really cool. Plant Daddy Express. Subscribe, comment, watch my other videos.